What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Generations with me and Gavin G. Kind of excited. We're going to talk about UFC 298 tonight with Volkanovski versus Topuria, and get into some backgrounds, I guess, to the four main fights on the main card. Talk a little bit about that. Talk about who we think's gonna maybe pull out the win. Uh, and get into that. But first, let's talk about them Super Bowl champions.
Kansas City does it again. What can I say? Patrick Mahomes, he's just a different animal. Man, I was talking about this earlier. Right after the Super Bowl, I was like, whenever in the Super Bowl, whenever you go up by 10 against Patrick Mahomes, that is not good at all. 49ers, first time they played, went up by 10, doesn't matter, score 21 in the fourth, win the game. Eagles are up by 10 going into halftime, doesn't matter, they win. Then 49ers come out, are up by 10 again, choke, Kansas City wins again. And I know people are like, it's scripted. I'm telling you, the Super Bowl isn't scripted. That's stupid. But I don't know. It's crazy because this team they're young still. They're not. I mean, Travis Kelce's getting up there, but Patrick Mahomes not even 30 yet. So, but the way he plays is like very, and you know this. He plays like an old man already. But the good thing about him, he runs scared. So he's always faster than his opponent, and this team is gonna win a couple more Super Bowls. So that's what I have to say. They're winning more.
I don't know, man. They look. I mean, let's be honest. The game itself wasn't a very good game. The first half was a defensive battle because neither offenses got off. They went into halftime. I think the score was 10-3. Not a very pretty half of football. And then we, watched the second half. It was close. And you and I knew that it was too close to leave Patrick in the game. Patrick runs it into overtime.
And then once we knew San Francisco got the ball first, did you see, they didn't know the rules of overtime? Did you see that?
And that was the thing. It was like they were, nobody on the team knew the rules, though. Because, even Shanahan was saying, we want the ball. We want the ball. If we get the flip, we want the ball. And it was like, what? You want them to have the ball first in overtime. You're getting the ball back. You're getting the chance. You want them to set the table. Old rules. Yeah, it's like you want them to set the table, and if they only score 3, touchdown wins the game.
Field goal.
If they score a touchdown, you got to score that touchdown and then go for the field goal for the one. And you can do that for the first couple of, overtimes, and then they force them to start going for 2. But why he would take the ball and then they only drive down to get a field goal is just foolish. They must have not have been paying attention to what it was that they were trying to do there. But yeah, I mean, Super Bowl champs again, back to back, and like you said, Patrick's young. I mean, and Kelsey's getting up there, but Kelsey's still got a few good years left in him. You know what I'm saying? He's not fading out anytime soon. They can keep.
He has 3-4 years left in him, I think.
Yeah, they can keep running backs popping up. Rashee Rice didn't do much in the receiving core. Watson had a pretty good game, actually, in the second half. He made some big catches for them in that second half. And, back-to-back champs. Congratulations to –
They're going for a three-peat.
Yeah, so. We'll see. That's hard. That doesn't happen very often. So, we'll get into that. We appreciate, you guys following us on the playoff run. That was fun. But we're going to talk, UFC 298, and we're going to get into that, next. Let me switch up, though, All right, man. UFC 298 is upon us. We're creeping up on 300. 300.
Let's go! We're
300.
hearing the news tonight. The news for 300 tonight. We find out the main event. Let's go. I'm excited. Can't wait.
Hopefully he does drop it. Like he's trying to hold tight to that thing. Ain't he?
I'm like, if they don't tell us today, the fighters already have to know. Like, there's no way they're giving them less than a month, because to be truthful, they're not going to announce it on a regular fight night. They have to announce it at 298 or 299 to, like, you know what I mean?
299 is too close. It's like right now he's at the
2 months.
It's like we're at the 8-week marker, like
which is good, because you need 4 or 5 weeks of training camp.
Yeah,
probably. And
they usually do about 8 weeks. That's what I'm saying. Like they need like 8 weeks of camp, so they need to know now. You know who's actually needs to turn it up for these next 8 weeks, like, and get it ready. So
yeah, they only have like 55 days now and counting. So I'm excited, and he better announce it tonight, after the main event or before the main event, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably after.
He'll probably do it in the post show, I would imagine. I haven't heard anything about who he announced, if he had announced it in this leading up to it. I don't think he wanted to take any thunder from what 298 was, though.
Because this is a stacked card. People are like passing this up and getting to 300. Any other year, this will probably be the like fight. You know what I mean? Like the number, like, I don't know how to call it, but like the card of the year, because like you have like a former double champ, Henry Cejudo, you got Robert Whitaker, you got pound for pound Volk, maybe. I mean, he just lost to Makachev, but people still call him the pound for pound. We'll see that tonight against his opponent. We'll talk more about that later. We got the return of Paulo Costa. This is a big fight night. And then 299 is gonna be big too with Sugar Sean O'Malley, and I can't wait for that one either. But let's talk about this one first. We have to get to this one first.
Yeah, no, it's exciting what's coming up. This is a pretty stacked card, though. Like, as far as the four main event fights, the early fights have already started. Yeah, the early fights have already started. The early prelims are actually getting ready to kick off right now, I think. But yeah, it's a stacked card though for the main event. We got Ian Gary, Jeff Neal, Merab versus Henry Cejudo, like you were talking about. Merab's on a tear. Merab's on a tear right now. You know.
I want to talk about that. We're going to talk about that next, right? Is Merab versus Cejudo.
That's going to be the first fight we're going to talk about, because of the fact that they're early on the card. But let's be honest. This could be a main event of
anything. Yeah, anything.
You know what I'm saying?
Former double champ Henry Cejudo, who we'll talk about next. Yeah. Let's go into the next segment.
Yeah, and then Ian Gary, Jeff Neal, Robert Whitaker coming off of that loss to DDP versus Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa, is a big, strong kid, and you and I know we were talking about this earlier, and but he just hasn't stayed active. He had one fight in 2019, one fight in 2020, one fight in 21, one fight in 22, no fights in 2023 at all.
Dad, we'll talk about that. Trust me.
Then,
I have some stuff about Paulo, because I've heard a lot of things about Paulo Costa. Yeah. About in 2023, when he didn't fight, he was the most drug tested fighter in the UFC.
Oh, for sure.
Crazy, because he didn't.
When you see him physically, physically, it's crazy. That's why they have to check him, because he's drinking the juice. He always walks around with this big Gatorade bottle with no label on it. The juice is what he calls it. So he's funny. But yeah, and then we got that main event, that Volkanovski versus Topuria. Volk is the man. Volk is the man.
In my eyes, and I'm looking at it, Makachev is amazing. He's amazing. But if Volk didn't get on this fight on 10 days' notice against Makachev, he won the first fight. On my scorecard, he won the first fight. I think he beat Makachev. And if he would have had a fair second fight against him, he would have beat Makachev. That's why I think Volk is still pound for pound, in my opinion. But talk about this later. Let's go to the first fight because we're kind of spoiling it a little bit.
All right. Let's get into it. Henry Cejudo versus Merab, and I don't want to tear up his last name, so I'm just gonna say Merab P.
I'll just say Merab.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so if you look at Merab and his fight history, bro, he has been on the tail, like you said. He has been winning and winning and winning. He beat up Jose Aldo, the former champ. He beat Jan.
Who was a former champ.
Yeah, former champ. 13 seconds, all I have to say. Anyway, but he's been on a tear. I don't remember the last time he's lost a fight. He's been on it's felt like a 20-win streak, to be honest. It's been forever, and I'm truly ready for this matchup. This is going to be an amazing matchup. With Henry Cejudo, it's Henry Cejudo. Like, what do you have to say? But if he doesn't win this fight, which is sad, he might call it quits. He might, which is sad because he fought Aljamain Sterling, and he obviously lost to the split decision. Who people said it could have gone either way, but it was a good fight.
Yeah.
But the last time that Henry Cejudo has won a match was in 2020. It has been 4 years since Henry Cejudo has last won a match in the UFC.
Almost 4 years, yeah, against Dominic Cruz.
May
2020.
May 2020 was the last time. Basically 4 years. We're halfway through February. And I'm just looking at it, I'm like, he wants this win because it's been so long. He wants this win. He's only had one fight because obviously, as we know, he went to retirement for a couple of years, take a break. But I feel like he really wants this fight, and this is gonna be a tough one. But I'll let you talk about it, and we'll do predictions after this.
Yeah, for sure. I like Henry Cejudo's work ethic when he's ready to fight. I didn't understand the whole take a break thing, like the early retirement thing. He had just come off of beating Dominic Cruz, and had just acquired this great list of people that he was beating.
Mighty Mouse,
Marlon Moraes, TJ Dillashaw, Mighty Mouse, Sergio Pettis. You know what I'm saying? And was really making a good list of people that he had beaten. And
becomes double champ,
and then went ahead and just went away and then was popping up at shows and just being weird at first, and then he came back and he looked like he was serious, and really good fight against Aljamain. I know they called it a split decision. I don't know what that third judge was watching in that split decision, because Aljamain was taking it to him. Aljamain was taking him down and beating him up, for long periods at a time. It wasn't like Henry was ever in control of that fight. I didn't feel, I watched it live, and like I said, Aljamain was taking him down and beating him up, and nobody really took Henry down like that, other than Mighty Mouse. You know what I mean? When he wrestled Mighty Mouse the first time, and he went off against Mighty Mouse the first time, Mighty Mouse was actually one of the few people that was able to take it to him like that. Joseph Benavidez beat him after the Mighty Mouse fight, but it wasn't the same. Demetrius Johnson, that first fight, beat him up and kind of humbled the kid a little bit and kind of put him back in his place. And then Benavidez kind of caught him, on the rebound of that and beat him again. And that was tough for Henry Cejudo. But then, like I said, he went on a win streak and started really rolling through guys, and then took that break. And I don't know how he came back and was able to get a shot at the champ on his first fight back.
It's because it's Henry Cejudo. He's such a big draw to his business.
He is for that weight class, and that's
for sure. He's double champ, and I think if he beats Merab tonight, after Sugar, if Sugar retains, then Sugar and Henry will fight. And I want to. That's one of my dream fights. I want to see that fight happen. I play that fight sometimes on the UFC game. Like that'll be a nasty fight to watch.
That would be a good fight to watch. And I think that that's something that's been going on like in the makings for a long time. You know, back when Henry was retired, Henry would pop up at shows and kind of talk trash to Sean while he was doing interviews and stuff. And it was kind of weird, you know, back then, but it was what it was.
I think he saw something in Sean. He saw
yeah, but
and
that's what I'm saying. If it leads up to this fight, it's gonna be a great fight. If so, I hope that. I don't know. I can't say I hope that it happens because of the fact that I like Merab and I think that he's a great fighter too. You know, this guy you talking about on a tear, you know, is since 2018, this kid hasn't been beat. You know what I mean? He's running through everybody. He beat Peter Yan, who was the champ up until, you know, he lost the belt to Aljamain in that weird disqualification. And then when they had the rematch, he actually really then lost to Aljamain, and everybody was kind of shocked, like, "Whoa, what happened here?" But you know, he beat Jan in his last fight, and beat Jose Aldo before that, and Marlon Moraes before that, and John Dodson, and like all these guys that are like all great fighters, and he's been, you know, consecutively, quietly just beating them and moving on up. But been doing his job, and I think he would also be a great matchup to see him fight against Sugar in a main event for the title. I hope that Sugar gets through Cheeto. Like I don't,
because the first fight, as he says, he doesn't count it on his record because he says that Cheeto hit something. I'm like, he beat you though. Like don't get anything taken away. Cheeto did beat you that fight, so Cheeto is gonna come out there and Cheeto's gonna try to beat him again, and we'll find out at 299. So
yeah, no, that's gonna be a good one, you know. But I'm excited to see this fight. I'm surprised that it's so early in the card, but I think they're doing that to kind of get people hooked.
This is a super card, like
yeah,
this.
To watch the rest
like
of the card.
any other year, I'm telling you, this would be the card of the year. But sadly, 300 this year, so it can't be.
No. All right. So what you got? Talk to me about this Cejudo Merab fight.
I feel like this is gonna be a brawl. They finna scrap the whole time, just punching each other. Henry might get a little bit of grappling in, might take Merab to the ground, but Merab ain't no punk. Merab will defend his own. But I got Henry Cejudo knockout, 3rd round. Knockout.
Okay. All right. I hear you. I think it's going to be a good fight as well. These are two big, strong grapplers. You know, if I don't know, you probably haven't really got a chance to see Merab fight live. He's just built like a tank, dude. His legs are huge. I mean, they're big. Wait till you see him tonight. And you know, Henry's going to have a heck of a time trying to wrestle with him. Henry's going to have to bang with this dude. And I think this guy can bang as well. I mean, this guy
because he's had, like the last times besides decision, he's knocked guys out. Like it's gonna be a brawl. I think this is a fight that they're like just looking at each other, no wrestling, let's just scrap, let's brawl. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I hope that's what it comes down to because you know, like we watched a little bit of Khabib, and Khabib was he was undefeated and all, but it was boring to watch him grapple the whole time. He's
a ground and pounder. Yeah, he was a ground and pounder. Yeah, but you know, this guy's different. He trains with Aljamain. He doesn't train.
Who trains with Aljamain?
Merab does.
Oh, so would they fight?
No, because he refused to fight Aljamain when Aljamain had the belt. He was like, he's the champ. He was like, you know, but now that Aljamain's not the champ anymore, of course he wants to go for the belt.
And Aljamain's the #1 contender for it. So
yeah, but I mean, this fight right here
is the #1 contender.
Is the #1 contender.
Yeah.
Whoever wins this fight is going to become the #1 contender. And like you said, I think if Henry doesn't win this fight, he's probably gonna walk away from the sport and say, you know what, I made a mistake. When I walked away, you know, 4 years ago, I should have just stayed away. I came back for 2 losses, to end my career. That's not what I want to do. You know what I mean? Like I should just go into coaching and analyzing because he's a great analyst. If you ever watch his shows afterwards, and the way he like actually picks apart the fights and kind of just tells people what happened and how they set it up and stuff like that. Henry's very, very great at what he does. And but yeah, if he gets to a point where he's coming back and losing 2 in a row, maybe it's time to hang it up.
Which would be sad because he's one of the GOATs.
Yeah, but with that being said, I'm gonna go with my boy Mirab tonight, the young up and comer. I want to see.
I get it. You want to see him win, but like it's gonna be sad to see Henry go out of the business like this.
It will be. But at least he's going out to a dog, though.
Yeah, at least he's going out to if someone's gonna dethrone Sugar, it might be Merab.
Yeah.
To be honest, it might be Merab, or you never know. Cheeto. Cheeto's Cheeto. Cheeto's the only guy to beat him. So it's gonna be a good fight. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a knockout here. I think this is a fight they look at each other and be like, let's throw hands. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I can't wait for this fight. So
you say Cejudo 3, I say Merab 2.
2.
All right. Next fight. Irish boy, Ian Gary. He's gonna go off against Jeff Neal, Jeff Hands of Steel Neal, who can hit hard. He punches hard. I've seen him knock some big guys out, like some good fighters out. So tell me what you got about this one.
I love my boy Conor McGregor. In my book, Conor is my favorite fighter of all time. He's just a funny guy, and this kid is Ireland too. And him and Conor are close friends. I want to see this kid succeed, obviously, and this kid has been. This kid has been climbing the rankings. Mm-hmm. He has been beating everyone he's been fighting. He has won like. He beat Neil Magny, who just came up. Neil Magny just had a big win against an up and coming star, and he beat Neil Magny before that, and then he beat Rodriguez in a KO in the first round, early in the first round. He has just been winning, and I love this kid, and I can't wait for another fight. And then with Gary, Gary is a good. I like Gary. I haven't seen much of him, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, yeah.
No, you're talking about Jeff Neal now. You just talked.
Oh yeah, I just talked about. Yeah, sorry, Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal. I haven't, like I said, I haven't watched much about Jeff Neal. I just know that he's been winning a lot recently. He's been winning a lot to fight. He's a number 8 ranked contender, and Ian's a number 10. I truthfully think the winner of this fight will be in the top 5. He just beat what's his name?
Well, he lost a chakra to Rachmaninoff.
He lost to Shaka.
But he beat Vicente Luque right before.
He beat Luque. Yeah, he beat Luque in round 3, knocked him out.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be an amazing fight. I want to see my boy Ian win, but Neal's gonna come out there. He's gonna come out there throwing hands.
Ian and Neal makes for an interesting fight though, because I don't think Ian Gary's been tested. Like his chin hasn't been tested enough yet. Like how Jeff Neal's gonna come out and test that chin. Because Jeff Neal hits hard. Like I said, he's not called Hands of Steel for nothing. To beat Vicente Luque is a feat in itself. And Ian Gary will tell you because of the fact that he's a big Vicente Luque fan. Like he likes Vicente. They trained together at one time, and we're really. What happened? Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, power off.
Okay.
I'll just talk in here.
That's fine. Just come in.
Okay. Oh man, I'm sorry. It I accidentally closed it on accident. I didn't mean to do that.
You closed what?
The tab to the stream. Why
is it doing that? There we go. Okay. But anyway, we're talking about Ian Grab the, go grab the thing. The benches, Uh, Ian just beat Neil Magny, like you said. Danny Rodriguez, Sam Kanan, Gabe Green. So he's been on a good run here in the UFC since he's come over from Cage Warriors, which is big because he's a pretty good sized guy too. Ian's gonna come out there and do his thing. Jeff Neal's had quite the run as of late. But yeah, I think that this is going to be a banger. I'm excited to see it. I want to see if, like I said, if Ian Gary's able to contest and be able to stand up to his stand up to what Jeff Neal is going to bring, because Jeff Neal is going to hit hard, and it's going to be a good fight. Who you got winning this one? You said, did you call Ian Gary already winning it?
No, I said I want him to win.
Oh, okay.
And I think he's gonna win. Give me Ian Gary knockout second round. Let's go.
All right. I think it's gonna be a good fight. Like I said, his chin's gonna get tested in that first round. Jeff Neal is gonna try all he can. Probably gonna run out of gas by that point though. So I'm gonna go with you on this one. Knockout round 2, Ian Gary.
Let's go. All right, next fight.
All right. Next fight of the night is going to be Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa.
Co-main event.
Co-main.
As you know, Robert Whittaker, he's Robert Whittaker. He just lost to Drake Duplessis, the new champion, middleweight champion, right? No, yeah, middleweight. He's a middleweight. Right?
Yeah,
the new middleweight champion. And me and my dad both had Drake winning, right? We didn't have Sean.
Yeah. I mean, his face was chopped up afterwards. It was such a hard one to decide because
it was a good fight. He beat Marvin Vittori in his last fight, and then he lost to Izzy. I mean, it's hard to beat Izzy. Izzy's Izzy, and Izzy might come back and fight Drake Duplessis. And before that, he beat Darren Till. He beat Jared Cannonier, and Kevin Gastelum, which are big wins for him. And I feel like he's going to come in this fight. He's going to be hungry, because if he really wants to become in the championship picture again, he's going to have to win this fight. If he doesn't win this fight, he's not going to be in the championship picture anymore. And then with Paulo Costa, obviously, people think he's on steroids. He might be. He doesn't fight that often, as we were talking about. He didn't fight at all in 2023. He fought once, 2022, 2021, 2020, and 2019. He doesn't fight often.
No.
And his first loss was to Izzy in a championship match. And then Marvin Vittori, who Whittaker beat recently. And I think that he's just been out of the game too long. He hasn't been active enough for a guy like Robert Whittaker. And I got Robert Whittaker winning this match. And round 3, knockout by Robert Whittaker.
Okay. That's a good choice. I mean, because of the fact that, Paulo, listen, like you said, Paulo's in great shape. A lot of people have speculations about why he's in as great a shape as he is all the time. I don't know what the kid's doing. I don't know his cycles. So that's not for me to judge, but he does catch a lot of flack about his physical appearance, shall we say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that, I don't think he stayed active enough. He's going to be one of those guys that we're not going to see that much of, that we're going to wish that we had. Because like you said, since 2017, I mean, the kid's only had 5 fights since 2017. And that's not enough. That's not staying active enough. These guys are fighting.
You should have 2 or 3 fights a year.
That's an active fighter. 2 to 3 fights a year. If you're the champ, maybe.
Unless you're a guy like Conor McGregor who can do, take years off.
Well, yeah, but if you're busy making movies and taking care of other businesses, that's part of it. And that's
this kid isn't. So.
No, Paulo Costa's. It's just been I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been impressed with his fights. I mean, he's a good fighter. When I seen him go up against Izzy, you know, he kind of got manhandled by Izzy, which was very awkward because when I saw him fight Yoel Romero, um, that was a great fight.
Yeah.
You know, nobody really beats Yoel Romero that often. And at that time, I mean, Yoel was a beast. You know,
and this kid was walking in 13-0, fighting the champ.
Yeah.
You know, had the whole world on his shoulders, and I think it just crumbled when he went to go fight Izzy.
Yeah.
Because when you look at Izzy, he's long, lean, can hit you.
Yeah.
That's why he lost to Izzy, and that's why he's gonna lose to Robert Whittaker.
Yeah. I think that was more of Izzy's prime, though. There.
Yeah.
You know, and then he went on and fought Marvin Vettori, like you said, and Vettori's a big dude.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you've really seen Marvin, but Marvin's a big guy too. And Marvin can fight. Marvin just his kryptonite for some reason is Izzy. You know, and then he went on to fight Luke Rockhold, which was a weird fight, which I didn't understand why they were fighting. I don't know if you know, if Luke was filling in or what, but Paulo Costa, a young up and coming Paulo Costa fighting a Luke Rockhold who was on his way out and then ended up actually retiring after that fight. It didn't make sense. And then he's slated to fight Hamzat, gets hurt in training, doesn't fight Hamzat, so it ends up not fighting at all in the year 2023, like you said. And this is his first fight back.
I think he's scared of Hamzat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kill everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like if Paulo Costa wins, me and you will be truthfully surprised, to be honest.
Yeah.
If he wins, I think it puts him right back into the title picture, to be honest, even though he hasn't fought in a while. But he's gonna have to fight. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he's gonna have to stay busy. He's gonna bang.
If he gets on the ground,
I won't be that surprised if he wins because the kid hits hard. Yeah. Like he's a big jack dude. Like he hits hard. Robert's been hurt a lot in his career. He's taken a lot of big shots from a lot of big guys, and you know, so I don't know how much Robert has in the tank left. You know, I think he's on his way out soon.
Oh, Robert beat Yoel Romero twice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, but look at when it was though, back in 2017, 2018.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's 6-7 years ago.
And Yoel was past his prime by then.
No, Yoel was still scrapping. Yoel's an animal. Yeah. You know, Yoel. I mean, he was past his prime age-wise, that people would say, but Yoel at 40 years old is better than most kids at 25.
Yeah. But that fight, Yoel's fight with Izzy was terrible.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Well, that was just a weird fight, and they talked about that afterwards because but you know, and then Robert Whittaker went in against DDP in his last fight, and he really didn't look good, you know, and DDP was able to take it to him, and he ended up getting rocked and knocked out in the middle of the second round. You know what I mean? And that wasn't.
And that's what put DDP on the map.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like Robert Whittaker's got to come in the right state of mind because Paulo hasn't fought in so long that he's gonna come out trying to prove something. So hopefully it's a great fight, and I hope to see the two of them bang and look like they did when they were younger because we don't get to see Paulo that much, and Robert Whittaker, like I said, he's starting to go on the decline. I think of his career, he's almost to a point where he's like, you know, I know he was up before that DDP fight, like he was probably the next contender, the next one in line, but I think that. I don't know. His chin's been tested too many times, and he needs to be careful if he wants to be a healthy old man.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, pick who you got.
I already said Robert Whittaker.
Oh, you're calling Robert Whittaker in round 3, you said?
Yeah, round 3.
Okay. Yeah, it makes for a good fight. Like I said, I don't know if Whittaker's just got the chin. Paulo, we know doesn't stay active enough, so we don't know if he's going to have the stamina. But it's going to be probably a quick fight. I don't know. I'm going to rock with Costa though. Round 2.
Whoa. Okay. I see you. Now we got the main event.
All right. But before we do that, I don't know. You know about the Costa. Costa is a different character, and you know that. Like I think that he's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
I just think that he likes to be the way he is. You know what I'm saying? Like he wants to pick when he fights,
and who he fights.
Yeah, and who he fights, and nobody's going to tell him otherwise. You know, and so we just got to know that that's what you're going to get with him when it becomes that time. All right. Now, let's talk about the main event of the evening.
Volkanovski versus
Topuria. All right, man. Talk to me.
Volkanovski has gone. He's lost 2 times in a row. Oh, not 2 times in a row, but the last 2 out of 3 fights. He beat Yuri Rodriguez, obviously in a TKO at 90. And he took on Islam on 10 days' notice, and he got knocked out in the first round. But I still think Volk is a pound for pound. I get it. He got knocked out against Islam, but that's on 10 days' notice. So really, that's not that bad. And then in the first fight I had Volkanovski winning. He was taking it to Islam, but Islam was taking it to him. I think it was a good fight. I thought he could have gone either way, but on my scorecard it was Volkanovski. And then obviously the last Islam fight he got head kicked and got knocked out, which was sad. It was just sad to see, but it was 10 days notice. He's beaten legends like Max Holloway. He beat Max Holloway back to back. People said that those were good fights. He beat Jose Aldo before Max Holloway, and he stayed up there. He beat Max Holloway before the Islam again, before the first Islam fight, and he's nasty. The kid he's fighting though, Topuria.
Yeah,
that's why his name's hard to say. He's young in his career, only 14 fights. That's young. That's not many fights at all.
Mm-hmm.
He's beaten Bryce Mitchell. But when you look at Bryce Mitchell to Volkanovski, as we were saying earlier, there's a big difference because Bryce Mitchell is obviously his biggest.
Well, Josh Emmett too. Josh Emmett was good.
Josh Emmett was good. But Bryce Mitchell, camo shorts, man. that was probably his biggest win, and Josh Emmett to put him on this map for the Volkanovski fight.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them aren't even near Volkanovski's level. So this kid and Volkanovski or Grandpa Volkanovski is gonna come in there mad because you see Topuria taking pictures with the belt already.
Yeah.
Volkanovski, I don't know. It's gonna be a good fight, but I think Volkanovski's too much for him. Yet, because I know this kid has a lot more in his career, and you never know. He might be back for more eventually. But I'll let you talk about it, and then I'll give my prediction.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I like Topuria. I like the climb that he's made. The kid is tough. He's been kind of creeping up, and then the Bryce Mitchell win really kind of helped put him on the map because he, like you said, he's early still in his career. He's only in his 15th fight going into tonight, and so it's like people are kind of wondering, should he be, but he beat a Bryce Mitchell at a time when people weren't expecting that, which then elevated him into a fight with a Josh Emmett, who Josh Emmett was on a tear leading up into that Ilia Topuria fight, and to get beat by Topuria, was huge, and it was like, so that kind of pushed Topuria into the spot that he's in tonight, and being able to go against Volk for the belt, which is going to be huge. It's going to be a great fight. This kid's got quite the build on him too, though. If you see him, he's pretty jacked. He's got the cool tats and stuff, and he can fight. They're going to make for a good fight. Volkanovski was on a tear, that, because before he had fought Max for the belts the first time, he had just beaten Aldo, he had just beaten Chad Mendes, then beat Max twice, went against Brian Ortega, which that's a fight that we should have watched leading up to this. You got to see the Brian Ortega fight. Brian Ortega almost had Volkanovski choked out twice. Really? Yeah. I mean, on the verge of tapping or falling asleep. And Volkanovski somehow got out of it and winning the fight.
That was the fight that he said that he was falling asleep. Mm-hmm. He was like, I'm not losing this belt. Not for my country.
Yeah. And I mean, and then went on to fight that Chang Sung next, and then fought Max again. And then at that time was then trying to go for the champ status. Made a super fight with Islam the first time, which, like you said, was a highly contested fight. Could have gone either way. Islam came out on top. I think it was only because he was the bigger guy.
And he had more time to.
Yeah, it was like, but Volkanovski, I think, was. You and I looked at it and watched that fight, and on both of our scorecards, Volk had won that fight. But he lost to Makhachev, then came back, fought the number one contender in Yair Rodriguez, beat Yair up, was able to, take it to him and finish him in the third. And then, went into 10 days notice to face off against Makhachev again, which, some don't think was the smartest thing to do. And to what happened in the final of the fight proves that wasn't the smartest thing to do. Was go in on 10 days notice to face off against Makhachev, takes a big kick to the face, some punches to finish it off, and it was kind of crazy. But I wouldn't have recommended that for him. But yeah, I think he's got something to prove in his weight class. He's still probably pound for pound, like you said, one of the best, if not the best fighter in the world right now. But yeah, I love watching Volkanovski. I love watching him fight.
Because you can't say John Jones is pound for pound because he doesn't fight that often, like we were saying. Of course, he's the greatest fighter of all time, probably. He's up there, and I know you like John Jones, but the reason he can't be pound for pound is because he doesn't fight often. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not often enough to be the pound for pound. Like the pound for pounds are more for these little guys anyway. Like,
yeah.
Just saying, that's why it's called pound for pound, because they're saying if he was at John Jones' weight class, could he beat a John Jones? But, he wouldn't.
Yeah. I mean,
nah. So yeah, I'm excited to watch this fight. I really want to see what Topuria has to bring. I think it's going to be a great matchup. But I'll let you go ahead and pick who you got.
I got Volkanovski, 4th round. I say he's gonna knock him out in the 4th round. But he didn't. Let me throw hands, but 4th round knockout. Give me Volkanovski.
Okay.
To beat the kid, shut him up a little bit.
Hold on to the title.
Oh man.
Yeah. No, I think it's gonna be a great fight as well. I'm excited to see it. Excited what's gonna happen. Volkanovski, Topuria, they're gonna bring it. They're gonna bring it, and we're excited to watch it. I'm gonna go ahead and pick my winner. I think it's gonna be Volkanovski. I think he's gonna have the kid tired and ready to go. Round 3. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see what they got. Excited to see what's gonna happen. But yeah, that's gonna be our choices for tonight. We appreciate y'all coming and hanging with us. Sorry for the little technical difficulty. Things happen sometimes. But, we'll make do. Have them come down, join me in the office. It's a quick fix to that situation. We're not worried about it. So, yeah. And then, about to go out, watch some fights. And actually, it's NBA All-Star Weekend. We're going to go out and watch the 3-point contest and slam dunk contest first before we get watching this show. What you think about that?
Yeah, let's go, Steph. Beat Sabrina, please.
I think that's gonna be fun to watch. I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for having me on the show, Dad. I'm sorry about the whole technical difficulties. I accidentally closed the tab. Want me to sign off?
No, we can do it together.
Okay.
All right. That's all you want to say?
Yeah. Until next time, you've been Gavinized.
All right, buddy. I love you, man.
All right, love you too.
All right. We appreciate you all. UFC 298. Go enjoy it.